So, Professor Ramon is a strategy professor at Dartmouth College, Tuck Business School in AC. So, and Professor Ramon has studied in Harvard University. He has worked in Duke Business School. He has worked with in the President's office in Mexico as well. So, it is a great honor, Professor Ramon, to have you here. I think it will inspire all the students to do much better in their career, in their life, having interacted with you. I just want to, understand, could you please share a little bit about your background, your experience, how you came to Tuck? Would love your stories.
Sure. First, let me tell everyone how excited I am to be here with you today. I guess that the only thing that I wish that would be possible would be for us to be together in the same place, so we could see each other. However, maybe it's not possible today, but we're gonna make it happen at some point with Ishkula's help. It's great to see you all. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. And
Hey,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Hi, Ramon. Quick thing. There was a link given incorrectly. Some of the people are waiting on another Zoom call. They're going to join in a couple of minutes.
So should we wait?
I think pretty much all are joining now. I guess. Yeah, I think we can go ahead. Yeah.
We can go ahead.
Yeah.
So I was telling you how happy I am to get to meet you, at least through the computer. Maybe at some point I'll get to meet you in person. Before I tell you a little bit about what I do for work.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let me tell you a little bit about myself.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Hello. I'm from Mexico. Anybody knows where Mexico is? No?
Sir, I don't know that much.
So Mexico is a country that is in the Americas, and it's in the south of the United States. So it neighbors the United States in the north, and in the south it neighbors two other countries, one called Guatemala and the other called Belize. In Mexico, people speak Spanish. But Mexico is a little bit like India in the sense that there's also a lot of diversity in cultures. So besides Spanish, there are many other languages that are spoken in Mexico from different regions.
Hello.
So I was born in Mexico.
Hello.
Yes. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
That's perfect. Okay.
I'm everything hearing, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just 1 second. Everybody request you to please mute yourself. And then, and then you can interact sir after he finishes his introduction, and you can ask. First, type the questions in the chat window, and then we'll call your name. Then you can unmute and talk. Over to you, Professor.
Perfect. So I'm from Mexico.
Bye.
We speak Spanish. Now, my parents, my mom and my dad, are from Spain. Spain is in Europe. They're born there and they migrated to Mexico.
Hi, sir.
I have one brother and one sister. My sister is 3 years younger than me, and my brother is like 12 years younger than me. My mom and my dad still live in Mexico, but my brother and my sister live in different countries. I live in the U.S. My brother lives in the United Kingdom, in London, And my sister lives in Spain. So my family is all over the world. Then I have two daughters. One,
Okay.
her name is Julia, and she's 11 years old. She's in 6th grade, and she really likes sports. Where we live is very, 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 very cold. And in this time of year, there's snow and ice. So my daughter Julia, who's 11 years old, like some of you, plays ice hockey. I don't know if you have heard about ice hockey, but I hadn't heard about ice hockey until I moved out from Mexico and lived in Hanover, New Hampshire, where I live now. Then I have another daughter who is 8 years old. She is in 3rd grade, and her name is Alex. Alex likes art, and she likes to cook. She's a very good. Then my wife, her name is Paulina, and she's from the United States. However, we met when we were in school, and then we got married, and
Sir, which part from US are your wife? It's Miss Steven, sir.
hello.
No,
Hello, sir.
not
Steven, sir. Nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's me.
Stephen, sir. Sir,
It's me,
request you-
Steven, sir.
Yes. Hi, Stephen, sir. Request you to hello, how are you, sir? We'll just mute ourselves, and then we'll let Professor Ramon finish, and then we'll ask, so we'll ask questions.
Okay.
Yeah, please proceed, sir.
So that's a little bit about my family, and that's a little bit about who I am and where I was born.
Perfect.
Do you have? So we can turn this into a conversation. I'll stop, and maybe you have some questions about. Give me 1 second, please.
So everybody, please ask your questions, type your question in the window, because I know there is a lot of interest, chala interest undi. So please, మీ పేరు, school name and question type చేయండి. We will ప్రతి ఒక్కరిని పిలుస్తాము. Please ask your question.
I apologize. Okay.
No problem. So Professor Ramon, I have one question I will start off with. In your career, you have traveled across different countries and have a lot of experiences. How important is English in your life? And how important is English, and how much importance do you want kids to give importance to English in their lives?
Well, I think that everyone in this call knows that English is very important. I guess that you wouldn't be in this call if you didn't think that. Let me tell you a little bit about my story with English. As I told you, I was born in Mexico. Mexico is a country where we speak Spanish. However, Mexico is a neighbor of the United States. In the United States, they speak English. And they speak English. So when I was when I was in 6th grade, when I was in 6th grade, I went to study to the U.S., to the United States, and I didn't speak English very well. So I had a very hard time in school because I sat in my lessons and I couldn't understand well what the teacher was explaining to the students, especially things that are difficult even in your own language, like math. When I had to take those classes in English, I found it very hard. So even though when I was in Mexico, I had taken English classes, you know, I thought I knew some English, but I really did not know that well. So I had to learn the hard way how to speak English. It took me several months, and it was until I was able to practice and learn, really practice and learn, that I did well in school. Now, this is when I was very young, like you, and ever since, I made it a priority for me to practice speaking English with someone. Even when I was a kid and I lived in Mexico, I found ways to speak in English with someone. Maybe back when I was young, like your age, the internet was not available. Mobile phones didn't exist. So what I did is I found someone in the city where I lived who spoke English very well, and I went to talk to him, and every other day.
Hi, sir. This is Panika.
Hi, Panika. How are you?
Hi,
And-
sir.
And
I am second class. I good.
perfect.
Hi,
So-
sir.
Hi.
I am Anika.
So, what?
Hi, sir. This is Prajit.
Prajit. Muy bien, Prajit.
I am
Hi,
Kartikeya. Hi,
Hi,
sir.
everyone.
I'm Abhinaya. Sir, I am Hi, sir. I am Neerasha. Can you please talk with me, please? I am Jyoti. Hi, sir. I am Vijayashree.
Hi, sir. I am Prajit.
Sir, I am Brahma. Vijay, sir, I am Akshita. Hi, sir, I am Pratap. Hi, sir, I am Yutradi. Hi, sir, I am Sruja.
Professor Ramon, I think everybody is super excited. So
मैं बुआ फोन करी.
say hi to you.
Hi, sir.
Hi, sir.
Hi, sir. I am Shamini.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Great to meet you all.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Very well.
Please be on mute. Let the professor continue his speech.
Hi sir, how are you?
Very
Hi,
happy.
sir. How are you?
Hi, sir. How are you?
Very
Hi, sir. Hi, sir. How are you?
This is Prajit from 5th standard, STR High School in Marketpalli.
Hi, sir.
I think thank you everybody for asking Professor Ramon.
Abhinaya, can you please?
Everybody request you please all అందరికీ ఛాన్స్ వస్తుంది.
Good evening.
I have doubt in English. Can you please?
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Yes, everybody please mute. Everybody will get a chance. Let us just go one by one. Let Professor Ramon please finish speaking, and then we'll give chance to everybody. Type your name, school, and your question, and we'll call your name.
So I'll be very brief, so we can all chat. Okay? English is very important. You don't know English until you practice English. If you travel to a different country,
Sir, I have doubt. Can you please explain me?
English is the language that everybody will speak. It's very difficult to learn 50 different languages it's easier to learn one language that many people speak, right? So that way, no, English is like the language that the world speaks. So maybe I don't have to speak Chinese if I want to talk with someone in China, because a person in China can learn how to speak English, and I learned to speak English, so I don't have to learn Chinese. This person doesn't have to learn Spanish. Okay, so English is very important, and it has helped me in every single stage of.
Cool, awesome. Thank you, Professor Ramon. I think the kids are super excited. So all the kids, please type in your name, class, your school, and your question, and then we will call your name, and then we will talk to Professor, ask question. Okay? Otherwise, there will be many kids speaking, and we won't be able to hear.
I
Okay.
think, Nish, they have started putting the questions already. So I think we can start with some of them.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think maybe we can start with Chegu. Chegu seems to have one question ready already. Yeah. Can we go one by one? Could you please wait? We'll go one by one based on the questions here. All your questions, please put it in the chat, please. It will be easy for us.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
You can start with the first question, Sarita, if you can see them.
Yes.
Hi. Hi, sir.
Ramanujan sir, would you like to bring one student in front and ask the first question?
Why don't you pick for me?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah. 1 second, one by one, please, all of you. Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I have a doubt. Sir, I have doubt, sir.
All of you, please.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
All of you, అందరూ chat లో type చేయండి. Please let us follow the order. Yourself.
I have a doubt, sir.
సారీ ఎవ్రీబడి, మీరు మాట్లాడాలి, మీరు క్వశ్చన్ అడగాలంటే చాట్ విండోలో చేయండి, లేకపోతే కుదరదు. ప్లీజ్ ఫాలో దిస్ ఆర్డర్. ఓకే, Ramanujan sir, please go ahead. From Chegu, I know you have submitted a lot of questions. Please go ahead, sir.
Hello. Pleasure meeting you. What's the question?
Hello, sir. This is Nigama from Chegu Vidyalaya.
Hello.
Hi, sir. This is from Vijayashree.
Hi, Rajesh. What's your question? I'm happy to answer whatever you want.
Why inspired you to become a CEO?
Hi, sir. This is Prajit from 5th standard in SPR High School.
Hi, Prajit.
Hi, sir. It's okay, sir.
Hi, sir. What is the meaning of
Hi, sir. My name is Vijayashree.
Nish, can I suggest?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Please ask one by one, please. Please wait for others to finish before you ask your question.
Can I ask you because I'm waiting for so much experience?
what is the Aditya ladder?
Could you
What
please
is the
type in
meaning
your
of
chat?
experience?
What is an Aditya ladder?
I have a doubt.
What is
Professor Ramon, I
What
think
is the meaning of appearance?
Let's do the following.
Hello, sir. What is the meaning of appearance?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
I am M. Kundanram of Chegu Vidyalayam.
Hello,
Ask,
sir.
ask me
We
a
are very
question.
glad to have such a nice contact with you.
Me too. I love
Actually, we
this
the
guy.
students of Chegu
Hi,
Vidyalayam
sir.
have many doubts to clarify.
Me too.
So, what's your opinion on AI education?
AI education is great. AI is like English. It helps you learn new things. AI is like a bicycle. It helps you go faster, but you still have to work hard. Yes, like in a bicycle, the bicycle needs your strength to move. AI is the same. AI needs a very good brain to ask questions, and then depending on how good are the questions, then the quality of the answers that AI gives you. So AI is not a substitute for thinking. AI is a tool that helps you think and learn faster. Very good question.
Thanks for
Okay,
that
sir.
question. Thanks a lot for that question. Good job.
Very good question. So I'm looking at the questions in the chat. I don't know if you want to go over those. So I'm reading one that says, "Hello, sir. My name is Sambi from school Narkapali. And my question is, what is your favorite book?" My favorite book is called The Little Prince. I don't know if you have read The Little Prince, but The Little Prince is a book about a kid that, like your age, that reminds everyone, reminds adults of how nice and important it is to be a kid. So this is my favorite book. Another book that I really like is Winnie Pooh. Who has heard about Winnie Pooh? It's about a kid and a teddy bear that are friends. So those are my favorite books. What else? And the first time I read those books, it was in English, not in Spanish. Let's see what other questions we have.
So there is an interesting question here. If you happen to be the Superman, what would you do? Would you like to address that?
If I happen to be the Superman,
Yes.
I would be a teacher, like I am. I think that teachers are like Superman, because they help people learn. So that's what I would do. I would help people learn.
Okay. Thank you, sir. That question was from Ashif from Sri Vidya School. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ashif, for that question.
There is one more question on Tapsika Reddy from Jivananda English Medium School. Why is English much more important than other languages, sir?
We already talked a lot. That's a very good question. We already talked about that a little bit. English, I think, is not that is more important than other languages. Is more useful as a way to communicate with others, because many people in the world know two languages. Their native language, in my case Spanish, and a second language. And that second language, most of the time is English. So if everyone has English as a second language, that means that there's a language in which we all can we all can talk and have conversations. So we don't have to learn we don't have to learn the first languages of everybody in order to be able to have conversations, because everyone has English as a second language. So this is why English is important. It's important because it allows you to connect with many people who know how to speak English. As I was giving you this example, no, I don't know how to speak German, and many people from Germany don't know how to speak Spanish. But if I know English and someone in Germany knows English, then we can talk because we both know English, despite the fact that I don't know how to speak German and the other person doesn't know how to speak Spanish. So this is why English is a very useful language.
Oh, that is fantastic, sir. Then there's one more question from Navneet Sai. How should we deal with any bad turns in life?
Well, I think that I was looking at that question. I think that's a very good question. Bad turns in life happen as well as good times in life, right? So they're just part of life, no? We can do things to avoid bad turns, but sometimes they just come and there's nothing that we can do about it. So the most important thing, in my view, when there's a bad turn, is to stop and think about why we're going through a bad turn, right? And in thinking why we're going through a bad turn, I think that there's two things that one has to bear in mind. One, if the bad turn has to do with something that we can control and we can have influence on. Sometimes we can do things to improve the bad turn. Some other times, the bad turn just happens and there's not much that we can do. So it's very important to recognize, in my view, if there's something that can be done, or if it's just a matter of things that go well beyond our control. So that's the first one. No, think about what can you do instead of worrying. And sometimes the answer is not much. Give me 1 second, please. Okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, others can please put your questions in the chat, please.
Sorry, I have to put a note in my room so they don't disturb. So I guess that the first thing is to see if you can do something to make things better. And if you can, instead of worrying, it's important to get busy, no? To think about how you can fix the bad turn and turn it into a good turn. If it's something that you cannot control, what you need to do is to be very patient and to have very optimistic views, right? No, because when there's nothing you can do, you have a choice. You're either going to be sad and frustrated, or you're going to give yourself energy. So as soon as there's something that you can do to avoid, to improve your situation, you can do it. So this is what I would do this is how I deal with a bad turn. It starts with you thinking about what you can do to make things better. If you can do something, do it as quickly as you can. The best way to go to go past a bad turn is to get busy, so you can go into a straight line. And then if there's not much that you can do to improve the situation, the thing that you can always do is have a positive attitude. It's better to be happy than to be worried. And this is something that we can control.
So let me just translate that a little bit to our students. Some of them are having a little bit of a tougher time. So sir ఏం చెప్తున్నారు అంటే ఏదైతే మనము కంట్రోల్ చేయగలుగుతామో అది కంట్రోల్ చేసి అలానే బిజీ అయితే మన పనిలో బిజీ అయితే ఆ బాధని ఎక్కువ సార్లు మనము అనుకోలేము, గుర్తుంచుకోలేము. సో మనం ఈజీగా బ్యాక్ టు నార్మల్ లైఫ్ అయిపోతాము. డౌన్
Nish, you have gone on mute in case if you are speaking. Hello, Nishkala.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Please continue. Yeah.
Work in US is another question that I see from Nagalakshmi Madam. Sarita, did you guys hear the question?
No, not really. Could you please repeat, Nish, once again? There was a little bit of glitch from your side.
The question basically is, can we come and work in US?
Okay. I think I saw that question couple of times. I think Nagalakshmi ma'am and couple of other people also asked the same question. So, sir, the question is, can we come and work in US and how can we do that? You're on mute, sir. You're on mute. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. So can you come and work to the US? Yes, you can. As I mentioned, that I'm from Mexico, but now I work and live in the US. And many people come and work from many countries, go and work in the US. The question here is how there's two things that I want you to think about, okay? One is that you can work in other countries without leaving your country, okay? You can work through digitally, through your computer. You can use the phone. You don't need to move to work in another country. Now, there's many things that help us share information and share ideas and share work without having to leave our countries. So that's one very important thing. The other thing is that I want you guys to think about is that the US is a great country, is a very, very large country with many things to do, but there are many, many other countries in the world where it's interesting to work. For example, in Mexico, there are many things where I'm from. There are many interesting things happening, and you can have a very good life, and you can have a very good job. And Mexico is just one example of many other countries where you can go work. And again, you can work in other countries without having to leave your home country. Now, what's very important, if you're planning to work in the US, or if you're planning to work in Germany, or you're planning to work in Japan, or you're planning to work in Kenya, is that most probably you're going to need to know how to speak English, right? Because English, as we had already discussed, is the language that everybody knows. So if you're considering working in or with another country, the first thing that I would do is to learn how to speak English so you can find out about the good things that every country has. I don't know if that is a good answer to your question.
Thank you very much, sir. That's I hope everyone understood. Another common question I see in the chat is, who inspired you to become a scholar?
Who inspired me to become I had 3 sources of inspiration. The first one was my professors, my teachers. I was very lucky to have very good teachers throughout my life. So I wanted to do the same thing that they did and help others learn. This is my favorite thing in life. So my teachers were an important source of inspiration. Another important source of inspiration for me is the power of education. I think that in bad turns, in good turns, in your country, in the United States, in Mars, in the moon, under the sea, anywhere you are, the most important thing is education. There is not much you can do without knowledge and skills. So since education is very important for me, I always thought that I would help people learn. And then the third source of inspiration is my dad, my father. He was also a teacher like me. And I really admired his commitment with his students. And all these 3 things was my inspiration to become a teacher.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Nish, meanwhile, can we open a couple of students to ask questions? I think we have another 15 to 20 minutes.
Sure, let us do that.
Yeah. I think what we, Nish, please translate. What we can do is we can call out school name and ask one student to ask question.
Sure. Ramanujan sir, Chegu Vidyalayam, can you please get somebody to ask a question?
Someone can come in front and ask a question. Yeah, I think Nish, you need to unmute both Ramon sir and Ramanujan sir also, I feel like. Okay. Yeah.
Can I tell you a story, that something that just happened to me that has to do with being able to speak English?
Yes.
Look, I was in Chennai in South India this morning, and now I'm in Mumbai. I had to fly here, and I took an airplane from Chennai and landed in Mumbai airport, and then I took a taxi that took me from the airport to my hotel. And guess what happened? I left my wallet in the taxi. This is why the phone is ringing and people are calling me and so forth, so on. And the taxi driver, the person that was riding the taxi, didn't know how to speak English. And I didn't know how to speak Hindu, right? So it was very difficult for me to be able to explain what happened so I could fix my problem of finding my wallet. So guess what saved the day? I found someone who speaks both English and Hindu. And because he's able to speak both languages, I could tell this person who helped me what my problem was, and he was able to explain to the taxi driver what had happened. So he found my wallet and he brought it back. See? I wouldn't be able to have solved that problem if it wasn't because there was a person that spoke both Hindu and English. That's what saved me today. Because if I don't have my wallet, I don't have my documents, and I cannot return home to see my family. So I guess that today, English saved the day.
Yeah.
That's a very short story. Now let's go back to the questions.
Yes. Ramanujan sir from Chegu, can you ask a question?
So speak from here. It's
Sir, you can unmute yourself, sir. Please.
Sir, what is the tense?
Sir, it's Miss Steven. I have a question for you.
Sir, I have one.
Okay.
So excuse me. Sir, I have one question. What
Okay.
is your name? What is the tense, sir?
Hi, sir. I'm Lakshmi Narasimhan from
Sorry, everybody. We will call మీ పేరు పిలుస్తాము అప్పుడే అన్మ్యూట్ చేయండి లేకపోతే మ్యూట్ చేస్తున్నాము సారీ అండి
Ma'am, answer my question.
Yeah, we will answer your question. Please type it in the chat window. We will answer. Sorry, sir Ramanujam sir, please.
How
go
are
ahead.
you, sir?
Hello, how are you?
I am fine.
How are you, sir?
Good. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Tell me.
Sir, to always brilliant when
So, sir, there is a question from Ashif. Let me just repeat what he just asked. So, his question is, do always brilliant people win?
I couldn't, I always heard do always, and then I didn't hear the other part.
Do always brilliant people win is his question.
Hello, sir.
I can still not hear you.
Oh, okay. Give me a second. Nishkala, could you please mute everyone? I think.
I will mute everybody and then mute
Yes,
yourself.
please.
How are you, sir?
Sorry, everybody. We are muting everybody, and then we will unmute whoever has the questions. Otherwise, it is becoming a problem. It is becoming very hard to answer your questions. So, yeah, go ahead, sir. If you have a question.
Yeah. Could you please mute everyone, Nish, once again, please. We'll unmute one by one is what I think is better. So let me just repeat the question. I have heard from Ashif, I guess. Yes. His question is, sir, do always brilliant people win?
I say that good people are the ones that always win. And brilliant people are not always good people. The important thing is to be a good person. Whoever's a good person wins. Now, if you are brilliant and you're a good person, then you're going to be like Superman or Superwoman. That's what I think.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Nishkala, can you unmute one by one? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello. How are you?
How are you, sir? I am
Very
fine,
good.
sir. Sir, I have one doubt. English is most important, but English is third place has. Why, sir?
English is important. And then the second part, I didn't understand that well. Can you please repeat it?
English is most important, but why third place have English?
But
So,
why?
sir, try to ask is English is one of the most important language, but in India we teach as the third language. So her question is, why are we teaching as the third language
Why is English a third language in India?
in India? Yeah.
Well, look, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, who knows? What's important is what's important for you, not what's important for if it's first, second, and third for India. Some people are going to use English more than other people, right? The people that are going to use English are people that want to have a language that will help them communicate with people across India and people outside of India. No? So for someone who's interested on having friends in other countries, maybe English is not the third language, but should be the first language. Now, for someone that's not that interested in having friends from other countries, maybe English could be a third language, right? So it has to do with the things that you care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for the question. Yeah.
One question is from Sheshasri madam. Madam, can you unmute? Do you want to ask? Or Chegu Ramanujan sir, can you talk?
Hello, good evening. Good evening, sir. Good evening, madams.
Good evening, sir. Please go ahead.
Sir, could you suggest to improve the better language for the high school children? What way they have to develop?
You got cut off, so I couldn't
Sir,
hear.
he's asking how to improve high school students' English language, their confidence, etc. Especially in high school students.
Suggestions.
Well, I think that as I was telling you before, the best way to learn English and the best way to learn anything is to practice. So if you want to improve your English, it doesn't matter if you're in high school, you're in grade school, you need to find opportunities to practice. And practice means having someone that helps you learn, and also that gives you the opportunity for you to try to apply and put to practice what you learn. So practice, 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 practice.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Practice makes perfect.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Stephen, sir, you had some question. Would you like to unmute yourself and ask quickly?
Hello, madam.
Yeah.
Sir. Thank you. Thank you for arranging this interactive session with our children. It's a greatest opportunity for them to interact such a scholar. Any suggestions for their better future?
Again, I think that I couldn't hear the last part.
Yeah, so sir is asking that this is what sir is saying is this is such a good opportunity for our children to interact with you. So his general question is, how do we inspire our kids, and also how do we inspire them to become like you, or how do we inspire them to become, get a better future, etc.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. It's to me, it's an honor to be sharing some moments with you. I'm very very happy and I feel very special to have you all here. So it's mutual. So I think that the best way to get inspired to do anything is to think very, very hard about what is it that we like, right? Working hard is difficult. Working hard in something that you're not passionate about is impossible. So the reason why I think I've done relatively well is because I really like what I do. And that gives me energy every day. When I wake up in the morning and I'm very, very tired, I think about the things that I'm going to do during the day, which is to help my students learn. And that gives me a lot of energy. And my suggestion would be that you find something that you like doing, because this is what will give you the energy to work very hard. Now, sometimes we are not able to do what we like to do, and we have to be extra strong in getting energy. But eventually, if you work hard enough, you would be able to do the things that you're passionate about. So the best way, in my playbook, the best way to make things work out is to do things that you like doing.
Thank you,
So
Professor.
smart work is better than hard work.
Say that again.
Smart work smarter.
Smart work is better than hard work.
Yes.
I guess that smart work is better than hard work. Passionate work is better than hard work. Passionate work is equivalent to hard work.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so we have one question from Nagalakshmi ma'am. Nagalakshmi ma'am, would you like to ask that?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Very nice to meet you, sir.
Same.
Our children are very excited to see you. That's why everyone at a time they unmute themselves.
I'm very excited to see you too.
Becoming really confusing. First time in their life also like this meeting. All first time for their life also like meeting, interacting with children. No, that's why that much exciting children are.
I couldn't hear you well.
So what ma'am was saying is they are very, very excited. It is their first time meeting somebody, as reputed, as renowned as you. So they're all very, very excited. That's why they are a little bit out of control.
Well, me too. Next time I come to India, I'm gonna go visit you. Okay?
Encyclopedic knowledge you are having. So
encyclopedic knowledge.
I think there is some disturbance. So, sir, let me just put it out for you. So, she's asking a question.
Sir, it's Miss Steven. I have a question for you.
Steven, sir, please just 1 minute, sir. Let ma'am finish it. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Ma'am, it's Miss Steven, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, Nagalakshmi, ma'am, please go ahead. We'll get to Steven, sir, after you.
How to overcome fear and afraidness? How to overcome
fear and afraidness?
Yes. How to overcome
Well,
fear?
the best way to overcome fear is to think about why do we fear things, right? Most of the times we're afraid of the wrong things. So if you step back when you're afraid and you say, why I am afraid? What makes me worried? And then you start realizing that maybe you're worrying and fearing things that you shouldn't fear, right? That are made up. Sometimes, when you think about what makes you afraid, that helps you understand the root causes. And as I was telling you before, when we were talking about bad turns, once you understand what's going on, you can take action and solve the problems. So whenever you feel afraid, you need to ask yourself, why am I afraid? And then the answer to that question might be the solution for you to stop being afraid of that.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Great,
Thank you
great.
very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Thank
we
you,
have a
Nagalakshmi
question
sir,
from,
for that question. Yeah.
Yeah. Stephen sir, go ahead with your question. I think we have a question from Rama Rural Academy also. Stephen sir, please go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Sir, yes.
My name is Banu, sir. Hello?
Yes? Hello?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Sir, it's Mr. Steven, sir.
No,
Hello?
Sir, can you hear
sir,
me? It's Mr. Steven, sir.
yes,
My name is Banu.
Sir, can you hear me? It's Mr. Steven, sir.
yes, go ahead, sir. Stephen sir, we can hear you.
Sir, as you said, as per the English is very important, right?
Yes.
Sir, a Mexican and is a mixed of a Spanish and everything, right?
Yes.
A Danish and everything. But all the literature is written in English alphabet, right? Or Spanish or Mexican have separate literature, like A, B, C, D.
There's literature in Spanish too. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
From Sri Rama Rural Academy, do you want to ask a
Thank
question?
you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Because everything were written in English alphabetical, right, sir?
Hello, sir.
Hello?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
How are you?
Yes,
Good
you are
evening.
audible.
Yes, sir. We are very good, sir. My name is Banu Tejas, sir, from Sri Rama Rural Academy.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. We want some tips from you, sir. How you became like this?
Say that again. Can you
They
repeat
want
it?
some tips. They want some tips from you on how you became successful. How can they also become successful like you?
So, as I was mentioning, I think that the key to do well there are two things. One is find something that you're really interested on, that you're really passionate about. Because if you are doing what you like, things come easier. No? And then true success in life is to be happy. And if you're happy, other things come about, like money and recognition. But so that would be the first part of my advice. The second part of my advice, which we already talked about, is that it is important to understand that there are probably more bad turns than good turns in life. So what's important is that when there's a bad turn, you think about what can you do to make things better. And that not only helps you turn the bad turn into a good turn, but it makes you a stronger person. It gives you resilience, because things that matter are not built overnight. They take a lot of hard work and effort. And sometimes you have to try 35 times and fail 35 times before you get it right. So it's important to understand that. And then, as I said, the best thing that helps you in a bad turn is to be passionate about finding a solution. And so if you have these two things, passion for what you do and resilience to keep going even when things don't work the way you want to, I think you're going to be happy. And if you're happy and fulfilled, everything else will come to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. సార్ చెప్పింది అందరికీ అర్థమైంది అనుకుంటాను. సార్ ఏం చెప్తున్నారు అంటే, ఫస్ట్ హ్యాపీగా ఉండటం చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. దానికి బ్యాడ్ థింగ్స్ జరుగుతూ ఉంటాయి, దాన్ని ఓవర్కమ్ చేయాలి. బ్యాడ్ అని ఆగిపోకూడదు. ఒక రోజులో మనం చేయలేము, కంటిన్యూస్ గా ఇంప్రూవ్ చేసుకుంటూ ఏదైనా బ్యాడ్ థింగ్స్ వచ్చినా కూడా వర్క్ చేస్తూ ఉండాలి. దాన్ని రెసిలియన్స్ అంటారు. సో అది చేయాలి. We have one question from Rama Rural Academy. How do you become a CEO?
Well, it's give me 1 second. Hello.
And many students have asked how to speak in English, like Professor Ramon. I think he already mentioned, keep practicing. Use the English Gurukul app. Use the English Gurukul platform. Keep practicing. He has already mentioned it. So we will go to the next question.
What's the next question?
Yeah. I think this is from how do you become a CEO? This is from Rama Rural Academy.
So how do you become a CEO? Well, a CEO is a person that is a leader of a company. Now, there are two ways to become a CEO. The first one is you start working in an entry position and work very, very hard until you become the CEO. So it's a career progression inside a company. No, you start as at the bottom, and then you go to the next level, the next level, the next level, the next level, until you become CEO. The other way in which you become a CEO is you create a company that does not exist. You're the founder of a company. Nishkula, for example, is the founder of a company. Yes. So maybe instead of moving up the ranks, you create a new company. And typically the persons that create a new company become the CEO. But either moving up the ranks of an existing company or creating a new company requires a lot of effort. And as I mentioned, in order to be able to put in all that effort, you need to be very passionate about what you do. So being a CEO is not the end goal. Being a CEO, in my mind, is just the manifestation of someone who's very passionate about something that the company does.
Great answer. Thank you, Professor Ramon. Bhavishya had a question. Please speak, Bhavishya.
Sir, what would you change yourself if you can?
What would I change in myself if I could?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh, that's very easy. I would do more exercise. I would do more exercise and I wouldn't eat as many candy and sweets. No, so I would be a healthier person. That's one thing that I would do. The other thing that I would do is I would spend more time with my children and my kids and my family because I spend a lot of time traveling and a lot of time working. So the best thing for me in life is my family, and I don't spend as much time as I would like with them. So those are the things that I would change. I would stop eating candy and do exercise, and I would spend more time with my kids.
Thank you, sir. Nishkala, could you please unmute Seshasri Busa, please?
Yes, Madam Sheshashree, ma'am, please go ahead.
About me, our students have to talk to you.
Sir,
Ma'am, there is a resound from your side. Could you please ask the question?
Sir, I am SSR Kashyap of 9th standard of Chego Vidyalayam.
Hi, good evening.
Good question. Sir, why did you get the idea of the English Gurukul Lab?
Why did I get the idea of
English Gurukul app?
How do I get the? But that's a question for Nish, not for me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for asking that question. I think it came from our experience that we started English Gurukul. I personally faced challenges when I was struggling during my undergraduation. So that's how we started English Gurukul. Great question again. Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
This is Arav Kumar of 8th standard from Chego Vidyalayam. I would like to ask what is the key to your success?
What's your name again?
What is the
Varti?
Arav Kumar.
Arav Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Arav Kumar. Let me do a test. Let me do a quiz to you. Someone asked me,
what is the key to your
do you
success?
think are the key to success? And I said two things. Do you remember what those two things are?
Okay, sir.
One is to be very passionate about what you do. And the second one is to be very persistent and resilient because there's more bad turns than good turns. And you need to be able to work through them. So those are the two things that I would recommend to you. Be passionate, be resilient.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There was one more question from Vaishnavi. Her question from Jivananda. Her question was, if you can live anywhere, where would you live?
If I could, I would live in India. Seriously. The best country, best food, best people, growing, many opportunities, many things to do. So if my family didn't live in America, I would come and live here tomorrow.
That is so nice to hear. Another question is, what is your experience in India?
What is my experience in India? Okay. So my experience in India is that there are many things to do here. There are many opportunities. There are so many things that need to be done, so many things that need to be built, so many companies that could grow. so many lives that can change. So my experience in India is one in which there is a lot of opportunity, and more importantly, a lot of people that are very enthusiastic and passionate to improve things, be it companies, being the lives of their children, be it anything. But this is, in my mind, my experience in India is this feeling of opportunity and passion.
Got it. That is so nice to hear. One more question from Pawan. What advice would you give to students who are considering pursuing a career in English?
Practice, 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 practice. So in order to get good at something, you need to put in the time. You need to work hard to learn. Now, it's not only important to put in the time, but it's important to be smart on how you put in your time when you're learning English. So you have to be very deliberate, meaning you have to ask yourself, what is it that I'm going to learn today? Have a goal in mind of what you're going to learn that day about English. Then think about, okay, what am I going to learn? How am I going to learn what I want to learn? No, maybe some exercises like the ones that you do with Nishkula. And then do your exercises until you feel comfortable with it. Practice, practice, practice. And every time you do an exercise, think in your head, why is this difficult for me? What can I do to make it better? And then next time that you try to do it a little bit better, right? So if you're learning words, if you're learning to read, follow the instructions that your teachers give you, do your homework, and then have your teachers look at your homework, give you feedback, and then reflect about the things that you did well and the things that you didn't do that well. So the next time you go and practice some more, you do it with a very clear objective on what you want to improve. So this is what I would do. I would practice, but I would practice in a very smart way, because it's not only time, but it's smart practice.
Got it. I think there are two more questions. I think Bhavishya, do you want to unmute and ask? Yeah, go ahead, Bhavishya.
English Gurukula. What is your biggest problem in your life?
What is my biggest problem in my life?
You have facing it.
What is the biggest problem in my life? That's the question?
Yes, sir.
The biggest problem in my life is that I live in a place where I cannot get Indian food. And the food is not as tasty as the food you eat in India. No, the biggest problem in my life, as I told you, is that I work a lot and I travel a lot and I don't spend as much time as I want with my family. But I'm working very hard to solve that problem.
Sir, what is your favorite food, sir?
What is my favorite? What is my favorite?
What is your favorite food?
My favorite food?
Yes.
Naan. Naan and roti.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
My aim is to become a pilot.
Yes. Oh, wow.
It would be a good job.
Very good job. You know what's the best job? The best job is the one that you like the most. You need to like what you do to be good at it. So if you think that you want to be a pilot because that is what you're passionate about, that's the best job for you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that question.
Hello.
Okay. Is there any more questions for me?
Yes, I think so. One question from Gautam is, what is the most important habit based on my age of development? Yeah, Gautam, go ahead. Please ask.
What's the most important habit? I missed the last part. So what is an important habit? A useful...
Yeah, for my development.
Okay. So I don't know if I understood correctly, but if the question is, what is an important habit? I think that the most important habit is to reflect every day about what you're doing and why you're doing it. It's very important to think about the future, but it's also very important to live your life in the present. So to me, the best habit is that at the end of your day, you think about what you've done and why you're doing it. And that helps you remain focused and enjoying everything you do. So, and then obviously a very important habit is to practice how to speak English. Okay.
Yes. Siva, go ahead. You have a question?
I am Neha.
Okay. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hello, sir. I am Durga Bhavani in Sri Ramarura High School. What is active voice and passive voice?
We will cover that in English Gurukula. I think you can ask general questions to Professor Ramon.
What is active voice and passive voice?
I think Bhavani, I think Kalyani ma'am is there. She will handle this question. Yeah.
Excellent. Very good.
There's a few more kids who raised their question. What, according to you, is the best day for you?
What's the best day for me?
Yeah.
Monday morning, of course, because I start going to school. Obvious. That's the best day. And you know what's the best day? Because I really like what I do. I really like to be a teacher. I really like to be in the classroom. So I get very excited. Then equally important for me is Saturday. And Saturday is very important because I spend time with my family. So this is what makes the best days for me. When I'm doing the work that I like, which is to help students learn, and when I'm with my family. Those are the best days.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
And I think one more question.
Okay.
Nagalakshmi ma'am, do you want to ask? Professor Ramon, how many minutes do you have? How much time do you have?
I have to leave at 8:30, so we have 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Okay. Nagalakshmi ma'am, go ahead and ask your question.
Sir, which suggestion will you give for our students about book reading? How it helps us for language?
What would I advise for book reading?
Yeah.
Well, yes. I think that reading books is a way in which you can practice learning a language, right?
Yeah. Will it be
reading
to read the books?
reading books is a way of having a conversation in your head with an author, right? But rather than listening, you're reading. So I think that reading is very important to learn a language. Now, I would read books that you're interested on, right? Because if you're interested in the book, then you're not going to be paying attention to the language, and you're going to be paying attention in the content. And if you're paying attention in the content and you're interested and intrigued, then you'll make the language work out. So to be very clear, I think that reading is a great way to practice and to learn a language. And second, what would I read? I would try to read things that are interesting. No, that way you kill two birds with one stone, as we say in Mexico. You practice your language and you learn things that are interesting to you. And I told you my favorite books are The Little Prince and Winnie Pooh.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I think there's one question from Chegu Vidyalaya. Sir, Ramanujam sir, you can unmute and you can ask question. We have asked you to unmute. And I think there are a couple of kids who have raised your hands. You can unmute and ask questions. I think Tarvi, Rupini, please unmute and ask question.
Okay, ma'am. Sir, I want to ask you one question.
Please.
I want to be a software in my future. Where I have to study?
You want to do software in the future or soccer?
Yes, sir.
Software or soccer? I didn't understand. Those are very different.
Software, right? I think software.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I'm SSR Kashyap of Chego Vidyalayam.
Hi, good night, good evening.
I think you have listened the news of the Australia that they banned social media under the age of 16.
Okay.
Please share your views about that news.
So look, I think that there's never a problem with information as long as you are very aware of why you're looking, what are you looking to learn, right? So social media is a way to stay connected. Social media is a way to learn about what's happening in the world. Now, social media is also a way to stay disconnected and ignore the people around you, right? So it's not that social media is good or bad for kids, as everything in life is about being smart on how you balance your time and different things. If you're all day in your phone, you have your phone in front of you, then you're not seeing people that are around you. But if you don't see and read what you can find in the internet, which helps connect many countries, then you will only know about what's happening just around you, and you will miss out on other things that are happening beyond where you live. Okay? So it's important to have a balance and think, how can I make the best of what's around me, and how can I use technology to learn about things that are far away from me?
Just translate. I hope everyone understood it. Positives ఉన్నాయి, negatives ఉన్నాయి. పాజిటివ్ ఏంటి అంటే ఫోన్ పెట్టుకొని వేరే కంట్రీస్ గురించి తెలుసుకోవాలంటే
Sir,
నేర్చుకోవచ్చు.
what is
అలానే నెగటివ్ ఉంటే ఎప్పుడు ఫోన్ మీద ఉంటే పక్కన ఏం జరుగుతుందో తెలియదు. సో బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ గా ఉండాలి, పాజిటివ్స్ తీసుకోవాలి అని. Yes, Cheku Vidyalayam, do you have any question? And then I see Jnaneshwara, Sri Vidya School.
sir? What is your opinion on education?
Can you repeat that question? What is your
What is your opinion in education?
What is your opinion on education today?
Yes.
My opinion in education today is that today we have many things that we didn't have when I was a kid. There is technology, there is AI, there are more teachers. So there is everything around us to learn. And what we need to do is to have, this desire to use everything around us to make us learn better. Okay, so my opinion about education today is that we have all the ingredients to learn as fast as we have ever been able to learn.
Yeah, that is fantastic. So I think we are at time. We are actually 30 minutes over our time. Professor Ramon, thank you so much for such a fantastic interactive session. Truly appreciate your patience because we know
Thank you, Jordan.
were really excited and they were out of control also sometimes. So it's just the opportunity to talk to you. It's fantastic for them interact with you. Thank you so much, and you've been so kind and so nice and patient with them. Thank you again. I think some kids are saying they couldn't talk. Please type your messages. We will get responses, or we will, we will send the recording and we will get responses. We will send the responses to you. And we have many sessions planned like this in the future. Please make sure to get the maximum stars in the app. Keep practicing English. Then you will be able to interact with many scholars, leaders, renowned people like this.
Thank you for having me, Nish. I really enjoyed meeting you. I love the conversation. I loved your energy and your excitement. This is probably the best meeting I've had in many times because you guys gave me a lot of energy, and I appreciate that. So please keep that passion, keep that energy. Use it to learn English, use it to learn many other things, use it to have good friends around you. And remember, you live in one of the best countries in the world because there's all these opportunities and all these things to do. So if you take your energy and your passion, you're gonna find many reasons to be happy around you in this beautiful country. And I will coordinate with Nishkula. So next time I'm in India, we get together again, and instead of doing this through the computer, we can do it physically. So we can say hello to each other, and we can talk, and we can show our excitement of being together. Thank you very much for having me. I wish you
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for giving this
I wish you success, okay?
for spending your valuable time.
Bye-bye. Have a good
Thank you, sir.
Very much. Bye, sir.
Thank you everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye, sir. I didn't talk, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
What is your name, sir? Bye, sir.
Name is Ramon.
Bye, sir. Bye, sir. Bye. Bye, sir.
Bye, sir. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Good night.
Bye, sir.
Adios.
Good
Bye
night.
bye.
Good
What
night,
is your
sir.
name, sir? Bye. Bye, sir.
Good
Bye.
night, sir.
Have a good day, sir. What is your name, madam?
All right, thank you everybody. Thank you everybody. ఇది బాగుంటుంది చెప్పండి. ఇట్లాంటి సెషన్స్ మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ పెడతాము. మీకు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉందా లేదా? బాగా స్టార్స్ తెచ్చుకుంటే స్టార్స్ కి పెడతాం. ఓకే, అందరూ స్టార్స్ బాగా తెచ్చుకోవాలి. టాప్ స్టూడెంట్స్ కి సెషన్ పెడతాం.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you,
having
ma'am.
a good conversation with a good delegate.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for
Thank
saying
you,
that.
ma'am.
Thank you so much for organizing. And ma'am, thank you for all the teachers. Amazing job. Madam, Nagalakshmi ma'am, Jeevananda sir, Steven sir, Kalyani ma'am, everybody. Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure. Thank you for coordinating so much for the students. All right, thank you. Bye.
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 Very good.
Madam.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Yes, which?
Hello, ma'am.
Gautam.
Ma'am,
Gautam.